Hey everybody, I'm Austin Scott with Scott Trot, and after a 3-week hiatus, we are finally back with the Paddock Party. So thank you guys for tuning in here on your Thirsty Thursday night and tuning in for our interview that we have here tonight. So before we get started, I'll let some more of you join in on the broadcast. I'm really excited for this one tonight. I do want to show you some cool items I got over the Christmas break and in between shows here. So the first of them was my t-shirt that I have on here. So it's hard to read on your guys' end. I know it's backwards, but it says, "Don't act like you're not impressed with my stable." I got this from the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, the OHHA, for playing in their fantasy league last racing season. So I want to give them a shout out. They always treat me really well. And then also I have a Scott Trot original here that I got during the Christmas break. Again, I apologize. It's the wrong way for you guys since I have the camera turned, but this is the first ever Scott Trot hat. So my wife Taylor got this for me as a Christmas gift. Was super pumped about it, and I love it. So got our colors on here, some of the navy blue, the neon green, and the gray. So looks really good, and look forward to wearing this to the track next season for sure. So for those of you that are maybe new to Scott Trot and new to the Paddock Party here, I want to give you guys a little bit of background. Just like I said at the top of our video, my name is Austin Scott. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Wapakoneta, Ohio. I really became a big harness racing fan in the fall of 2019. I had been to the races before that, but it was something that just, my interest kept growing in it, and it kind of hit its height there in the fall of 2019 to where I was like, I really want to get into this and be a part of this. And it's been a lot of fun. And along the way there in the fall of 2019 is when I made this harness racing fan page that you're on right now called Scott Trot. So it's, again, an amateur page, and what I like to do with it is post pictures and videos of when I go to the racetrack, of some of the stuff I'm doing behind the scenes, because I've actually been fortunate enough to be helping some of the trainers here at the barns at the Galliers County Fairgrounds in Wapak. And so I'll post some pictures and videos of what I'm doing with the horses there and what I'm learning. Also, I post some handicapping stuff on here, talking about big races and stuff like that. And then also, I added this other element called the Paddock Party, which is a video interview series that I'm doing here on Facebook. So when I first became a really big fan in the fall of 2019, I noticed there wasn't really a good spot to find video content about your favorite people in the harness racing business. So even if you go to YouTube, you might be really hard pressed to find a video talking about your favorite driver, trainer, owner, and stuff like that are in the sport. So I felt like if I started the Paddock Party, that would kind of fill that gap, so to speak, and get people up close and personal with some of these drivers, trainers, owners. Again, I'm open to having anybody on the show for sure. So, but yeah, this is a chance to where, if you already have a favorite owner, trainer, driver in the sport, you can learn a little more about them and their background. Or if you're someone like me, you're always looking for new people to root for, looking to learn more about the sport. And I feel like it's, a great balance of letting people that are already in the sport learn something new, as well as people that are trying to break their way into the sport. So that's kind of the inspiration behind the Paddock Party. So I've had 3 episodes so far. Tonight marks the 4th. Our first episode, we had Chris Presley on. Had a really good time with him. Second episode was Sean Barker. And then the third and final episode I had of 2020 was with Tyler Smith. So we already have some more guests lined up for future shows, including tonight on the 4th episode. I'm going to be bringing in another young trainer, driver, and owner onto the show. If you've noticed, my first 4 episodes now, I've had a lot of people in that younger generation, kind of in, their early to mid 20s, that are trying to break their way into the sport and make a name for themselves. And for me, I feel like it's really important for me to talk to those people too, because, I feel like I'm in the position they were in just a few years ago. So everything's really fresh for them as far as giving advice and giving information to somebody like me that's new and wants to get into training, owning, and driving somewhere down the line. So tonight's guest is Brady Galliers. So he is originally from Defiance, Ohio, which is about an hour north of me. And actually our schools, so my high school, Wapakoneta, and Brady's high school, Defiance, played each other. They were in the same conference in sports and stuff like that. So we kind of have a little bit of a connection there. And now Brady has moved down to the Grove City area, I believe it is, and has continued to build his stable while also furthering his driving career also. So I'm really excited to have Brady on tonight. And I want you guys to comment your questions to Brady in this video. And when I get to the end of the video, I'll ask him some of your questions. So make sure you comment some of those below. And then also, I have a link up to the Galliers Racing page so you can stay up to date with Brady and what his stable is up to also. So I'm going to check here. We'll make sure we have Brady watching, and I'm going to try to bring him in. See here. Doesn't look like he's in just yet, so we'll wait just a little bit here and make sure we can get him added into the video. But again, appreciate all of you guys that are tuning in. We already have some questions rolling in, it looks like. So that's really cool too. Again, appreciate all the viewers. We're only 5 minutes into the video right now, and it says we have about 30 of you on. So that's pretty awesome. So it looks like Brady's in right now. So let me check one more thing, and then we're going to bring him on to the show here. Okay, perfect. Let's bring in Brady Galliers, everybody. There we go. Awesome.
What's up? Good, good. How are you?
Hey, man, I can't complain. Excited for another show here. On tonight is my fourth guest on the Paddock Party.
Yeah, that's thanks for having me, and you're doing a good little gig as well. You know, hopefully you can get some followers and fans and stuff, and get it rolling, right?
Hey, absolutely. That's the goal for sure. So, really cool stuff. Brady, do you have us running in the background, maybe on your laptop or something?
No.
No, okay. It's just the audio was just echoing a little bit, so I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, we're no laptop here. I can try to move my phone a little bit though.
Oh, you're good. Well, cool. Well, Brady, we'll get into it here. My first question for you is if people are watching stuff like that, and they might hear you driving down the very big highway calling you a rocket man, where did that nickname come from?
To be honest with you, the Wizard gave me that nickname. He one day was like, I think it just like he comes up with these nicknames or whatever, and he that's what he named me, because I think it was because like I put a couple horses on the front, so he come up with the Rocket Man.
Rocket Man. Hang on here 1 second, Brady. I think we have some audio problems. You can't hear me. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, it says our audio system.
Here, you let me rejoin.
Yeah. Maybe do you have a headphone by any chance, or your brother? Yeah. Let's try that, and I'll bring you back in. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Just add yourself to the video again when you're ready. There we go. Cool. We'll try it again here, guys. So we do a test run about 15 minutes before we go on air, and we weren't having that problem then, so it could just be something with our phones acting up now. But we'll get Brady back on here again, and we'll try to cut down the echo that we're having here during the video. So we already have a lot of viewers and a lot of questions. And a lot of people giving Brady a hard time. Take it easy on Brady here, guys. Take it easy here. So this is our audio issue we got. But again, thanks for joining in. We have Tim Ignarski watching. How you doing, Tim? Long time no see, huh? Tyler Smith's watching. Ben Davis is watching. Okay, looks like we got. Looks like Brady's trying to join in again. Let's see if we can get this to work. And then Taylor, if you can, be ready to let me know if we're having any more problems. Okay, we'll try it again here. Brady, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll try it all again here. So, but anyhow, we'll go back to our first question just because we're having so many issues and stuff. But where does the Rocket Man nickname come from you?
The wizard at Miami Valley gave it to me. He gives the drivers nicknames, and I think I put like a couple horses on the front one time, and he said the Rocket Man.
And he ran with it from there.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So yeah, I wanted to know for myself, then also any other fans there maybe at the racetrack when they hear the Rocket Man Brady Galliers out there. I wanted to let them know where that comes from. So,
Oh yeah.
speaking of that, tell some of our viewers here where you come from. I talked about it a little bit in our intro, and then talk about how you got your start in harness racing.
Yeah, I come from Defiance, Ohio. It's kind of close to where you're at, Wapakoneta. I mean, like an hour or whatever. But yeah, I just kind of never really was into it like with my family or anything. Like we weren't in the business, and I just went to the fairs when I was young, and we just kind of got rolling from there. I liked what I saw, and I liked the sport and everything. And my grandparents took me to the fairs and stuff, and we just kind of went from there. And my parents finally got me my first horse, and I loved it, and just went from there.
That's pretty cool. So, I mean, you said really there was like no harness racing background before you started going to the fairs and stuff then?
Yeah, no, I mean, we didn't, we didn't even know, we had never been around horses or anything. Like we didn't really, we didn't know what was going on. It was a brand new game for us.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too. So I mean, it took me 24 years to get my first pet here at the house. So to go, I don't really come from an animal background either, and that's for sure been a big part of the learning curve for me. So, at what age then are you, getting your first horse and starting to take care of it and learn how to do that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it was like around like 14 years old. I like started going to the races. I would say probably around like 16 or 17 was like when I like really got hands on with it and stuff. And then, but that was just like, going to the barns on the weekends and stuff because I was still in school. And then it was just kind of just from there, like when I turned 18, I graduated high school and I moved to like Lebanon area and like started my own stable there and stuff. But like I would say like I like around 16, 17 years old as I started like jogging my first horse and stuff like that.
Okay, gotcha. So what age did you say again you went from, just maybe working with the horse to actually driving them out of the fairs?
I started driving like when I was 16 or 17. Like I went like that winter or whatever, and then hit the matinees and got my fair license and stuff. And then right when I turned 18, I got my parimutuel license and started driving. It was like the first year Miami Valley opened up.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha. So, for you, what can you remember about some of your first drives and maybe even your first win? Like where was your first race at?
My first drive would have been like Hoosier Park and stuff like that. Like that was the closest for me and whatever. My first win was actually Hoosier Park, and like this little mini series and stuff. But I mean, obviously you learn a lot when you're young or whatever, and you still learn. But I mean, it was just like I said, it was just a learning game, learning experience because I had never been in this, those situations or whatever. I kind of started off, a little green and whatever. But I mean, it's something I had to jump in or jump out pretty much, and we just kind of took the shot on it from there. But I would say um, I would say probably the fairs and stuff helped me a lot. Driving around the county fairs and stuff. I mean, that's what I can encourage to anybody, that wants to get in is like, obviously go to the county fairs and stuff. Ohio has a great county fair program. I mean, it's one of the best or is the best, and plenty of opportunity to get drives, make money, and just get your foot in the door and stuff.
So, a question that wasn't on our list and stuff for you, what are some of your favorite fairs that you got to drive on and go to as far as, it could be a really nice track or maybe a good atmosphere, things like that.
Yeah, I always liked my hometown fair, just obviously because it was my hometown and everything. But probably like my favorite fair is obviously Delaware. But besides that, like Xenia, Urbana, those are all great fair tracks. Greenville, those are all great, good county fair tracks that like you can stay safe on and everything. And it just, usually good races, and they have some featured races and stuff. And that was always fun to try to like get one in one of those races and everything. It was like a step up from a fair race, and it was just fun to be a part of and everything.
Absolutely. So I need to make it to Urbana and hopefully Greenville next
Yeah,
year. I was
yeah.
at Delaware this year, fortunately. So for you, was somebody training for you when you first got started and you first got your horse, or how did that work?
Yeah, so there was a local trainer in Defiance named Bill Webb. So like that was, our option because it was 20 minutes from our house. So we bought a couple horses with him or whatever, like half and half, and just kind of got in it from there or whatever. And then, I mean, right when I graduated high school, I just like moved out of the house, and my parents were, they had my back on everything, and I just kind of went on my own, really. I mean, I didn't like I worked for people, but I didn't because of the fact that I was still in school and everything. So like, I helped out when I could, and just open book, just tried learning as much as I could, and taking notes and everything. And Bill Webb helped me, that way. And then just when I turned 18, it was kind of like you're on your own.
You got thrown to the wolves. So
Yeah, pretty
so
pretty
so
much.
it was when you were 18 that you started the training with your horses and stuff then too.
Yeah, like I didn't get my trainer's license till I turned 18. So I mean, that's when I like, officially got my own horses and everything like that. But I helped out around the barns a little before that, like training wise and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I started my own barn at 18.
Okay, so for you, what made you want to do it? I guess what made you want to go from just being, in halvesies with Bill Webb and that kind of thing, and maybe just sticking to being a driver. What made you want to get into the training aspect itself?
This cubby. Uh, I I mean, I've always been competitive, like sports wise and everything, and who doesn't love to win? So when you like win your first race, whether it's an owner, trainer, driver, it's like you get pumped up. You're like, wow, this is awesome, blah blah blah, and it was just like it just from the time I won, it was like this is what I want to do. This is me having fun, and this is me say trying to make a living or making a living. And it was just like I just knew right off the bat. I was like, this is definitely something I want to do. Like I just knew from when I started getting my hands on the horses. I was like, this is it for sure.
And then you talked about it pretty much after graduation, turning 18. You moved your operation down to Lebanon at that time. So what was that like as far as getting set up down there? Where were you at, and how did you kind of get your feet wet for the first time out on your own?
Yeah. So I mean, basically, when I moved away, it was me, Chris Page, Tyler Smith, and Sean Barker. We got an apartment together in Dayton. So
Oh,
like
geez.
those guys helped me out a lot because obviously they were in the business and everything, and so like they kind of like welcomed me in and whatever as far as like living, meeting people, stuff like that. But as far as like the horses, I mean, I literally just like I was like, all right, I'm moving to Lebanon because it was like kind of the closest from where we got our apartment at, and it was like I called the fair board and I was like, I need so and so stalls, how much a stall rent, blah blah blah, and I just like moved there. Now, once I finally met people and everything, I got set up. I actually was training the majority of the time at Lebanon out of the old paddock. Like we built stalls in there.
Mhm.
And we built stalls in there and like, I trained out of there and it was actually really nice. Like it was a nice little setup and everything. And then I moved out of Lebanon Fairgrounds to a private farm. It's Velocity Standardbreds farm, Mark Evers and stuff. And I moved there and that farm was awesome. Very nice. It's right outside of Lebanon.
Mhm.
And then, like, after that, it was like Virgil built that training center where I'm at now. He had it running for almost a year. And I was just like, I'm ready to relocate. Columbus is a good area. It was something I wanted to do. And then, like, I've always been like, I'm really like OCD and stuff. So, like, when I seen the training center, that was another thing. Like, I was like, wow, this is where I want to be at. And I just seen the training center and I was like, I'm moving. Like, there's no option. I'm moving. And we packed up like 15 horses and moved to Grove City.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how many years was it from the time you started at Lebanon to when you moved over to the training center that you're at now?
Well, I've been here for 2 years, so I'm just turned 25, so like really 24, 22. I bounced from Lebanon, Lebanon and then before I moved, I was at Lebanon and then I went to two different farms. So I was there, I was in Lebanon area for like 3 or 4 years and then I moved here and, been here for 2 years. So,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. So I mean, you're moving into Virgin Morgan's training center and stuff like that. You're going to be rubbing elbows with some of the, honestly, one of the biggest names in the entire sport. And at that time, you're, what, 21, 22 years old, probably.
Yeah.
When
22. Yeah.
you got over the training center. So, for you, what were some of these struggles being a younger guy trying to break into a sport that is quite frankly dominated by that older generation, so to speak?
Yeah, it definitely was tough, and it still is tough. Like it actually just keeps getting tougher and tougher, to be honest with you, as I get older, though. But uh, like when I moved to Virgil's, I was kind of already set up. Like obviously, I've had my name in here. I've been here for 4 or 5 years or whatever. But like when I first moved to Lebanon, it was I didn't know anybody really. I was just going out on a limb, and it's tough. Like getting drives without people knowing you is tough. Just everything about it is tough as far as like getting owners, getting horses, drives, everything about it. And you just gotta like wait it out and just let your turn will come, really. I mean, I went from having one owner of my parents, we bought a couple cheap horses, to now I have 4 or 5 owners, and we spend we try to buy open horses, we try to buy claimers, we bought babies and stuff. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it just kind of it's a process. We just kind of waited it out, and it's I think now we're set. We're set up, and we're just gonna see where it goes.
So, how were you, trying to, I guess, get your name out there? Was there anything special you were trying to do to get your name out there to, attract owners and attract drives for yourself, really? Because I know you talk about, more so paying your dues and kind of waiting for your time, but I'm sure you were doing some things behind the scenes too to try to improve yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get your name out there however you do it. I mean, whether it's social media or business cards, or just like I always try, like when I was young, especially, like I always tried going to the sales. Like I never missed a sale. I always wanted people to see me at the sales, whether it was yearling sale, racehorse sale. I would go out to the Meadowland sale. Everything. I just wanted to be available in case somebody needed a trainer or whatever. As far as driver, I always just tried to be available, be at qualifiers, or, just let everybody know, like, yeah, if you need a driver, whatever. But, I mean, basically, it's just like results is the biggest thing. I mean, you can't, I mean, that's the biggest thing in everything. And I mean, like I said, like, that's kind of like buying your time. I mean, your time will come, and it literally was like when I started winning races, it like everything picked up and everything. And that just I think that's just life, that's just the name of the game. And you just kind of got to wait your turn. And when when you start winning races and when your results show, then people have your number and they call you and say, hey, I want to claim one with you, or hey, I got this horse, or hey, I want you to drive my horse, or whatever. And it just kind of gets working from there.
So you talk about winning races and kind of getting those results. At what point, um, after your move to Grove City and stuff like that, or just in general, did you feel like you were really trying, felt like you were making it, or at least breaking into the sport and gaining that momentum?
I think when I was at Lebanon, like it went from winning a couple races every month, a month or whatever, and then you got like you found that one good horse, and you win, like it's a quality nice horse, and it like puts you on the map type deal. And then it just kind of takes off from there. And I would say probably around like 19, 20 years old, like I started, like, say, winning races at like higher end level. Like, I won a couple opens and stuff like that, and got lucky with a couple decent trotters and win some series and stuff like that. And I think probably like around 20 years old, I kind of was like, I think I can make it in this business. And that's just when it started, falling together. So
That's really cool, man. So we talk about your climb to where you're at now. So let's talk about Galliers Racing and kind of the status of it for you right now. How many horses are you guys up to?
These guys on these comments, I'm sorry, like
I
they
know
just
they're killing me, man.
they're
They're
brutal on me,
taking
aren't
away
they?
from my focus right now.
Yeah,
We'll get
I'm
to
about
all
to
that.
I'm gonna have to mute the comments or something. But if that's an option. But okay, what'd you say? How I got Galliers Racing started?
Well, we talked about the build and all that. I just want to say, what is the current status of it, and how many horses do you have in your stable now?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm happy where I'm at. Like I got like coming Saturday, I got like two more coming, and that's gonna put me like around 18. That's like I've had
Okay.
18 once before, and obviously you gotta wake up a little earlier. You gotta put a little bit more extra work into it rather than having 10 or 12. But like 18 is a good number. Like I like 15 to be honest with you is like the number I like. I'm hands on. I like training my own horses and stuff like that. So like I would say like 15 to 18 is a good number for me, and I'm at like 16 to 18 right now, which I play the claiming game. So they can easily leave this weekend, and I can easily say claim 3 this weekend. So it doesn't, I'm not set on a certain number or whatever. But I like where I'm at. I got a great staff. I got 3 good grooms, 2 good riders. A second trainer, and everything's flowing. And we got people behind us and everything. I didn't even see it.
I'm
I didn't
sorry,
even.
these
I'm not
comments
looking at them
are
anymore.
killing me right now.
But yeah, I mean, it's. I think I'm pretty much set up, where I want to be at least at this age right now.
Well, that's really cool, man. So you talk about, you get up to 18 horses, and that's the top end of where you're wanting to be. So for you, what kind of schedule do you have on a daily basis?
Usually it's like wake up and it's horses the rest of the day, really. Um, you wake up and I get around, and sometimes like I'll go to the gym in the morning, like run a little bit, and then uh, just go to the barn and train, jog, do whatever you got to do at the barn. And with the afternoon post at the raceways, it makes it a little tough because you like really got to get up and get done, and because you got to go racing or whatever. So, you're kind of in a hurry in the mornings or whatever, and that's basically it. Like I go to the barn and then I come home, and if I didn't go to the gym in the morning, I'll go to the gym real quick and then just grab a shower and drive to the races and race all afternoon, and come home and chill out or whatever. But like pre-corona, when we raced say at nights or whatever, it was a little bit easier. You would go to the barn and then you would get home from the barn and you would have like 4 hours to chill or do what you wanted before you would go race at night or whatever. And as a trainer, that's what I like. But this
I
Sutton, I think we need to
I
block
know, dude.
Sutton.
Sutton is really busting you right here, man. So
Yeah, but hey, it happens.
I'll slide. I'll slide. So what you can do is you can slide right on the screen, and we can just mute them for now, and we'll come back to it at the end. So
All right.
it's killing my concentration right now.
Yeah.
I feel bad, like I'm ignoring you or something. But
Yeah.
so again, we talked about your daily schedule, and you mentioned it a little bit there too. How many people do you have employed at Galliers Racing, and what are their roles within your operation?
Okay, so I have 3 grooms that usually I like to take. I like one groom to take care of between 5 and 6. I don't really like them taking care of more than 6 horses. I just like I'm like I said, I'm OCD. Like I want everything say done right, and I just feel like more than 6 is just a little too much. But anyway, so I have 3 grooms and two people that help me ride and train. And so, I mean, that's what 5 people there
Mhm.
plus, I have some help that we pay on Sundays to come in and help do work on Sundays and stuff like that. And I feel like even though even though I only have 5 employees, I feel like I have like 20 employees. Like we're always writing out checks to people and stuff. Like it's like never ending or whatever. And I probably should put my mom on the payroll. Like she does. She does a huge amount of work for the Galliers Racing. She does all my billing and all my like accounting and stuff like that. So I should definitely write out a check to her every month. But we'll figure that out later.
Is your mom Jane by
Yeah,
chance?
yeah.
Okay, she was like the first one to be watching the video. I think. I swear
Oh
it
yeah,
said.
soon.
I
She's
think
my.
it said
She's
Jane
yeah,
Galliers was watching before I even
yeah.
hit the start button.
Oh yeah, she's my number one fan. Like she told me she said she saw the interview or seen that we were in. I said 8 o'clock, and look, she was right on it at eight
Yeah,
o'clock. You
she
know
was.
they. Yeah,
She's waiting on shout out to Jane for being our first viewer tonight. That's cool.
yeah,
So,
right.
we talk about you probably have 5 to 6 employees, stuff like that. Sunday help. So besides your employees, for you as a trainer, what expenses do you have? Because a lot of people maybe that have been around the sport or people that are new looking to get in. They hear about training bills and sometimes they may be getting scared by those numbers, but for you as a trainer, what expenses do you have off the top before you really take your cut, so to speak?
That's kind of what I like hit on. Like I feel like it's never ending. You got. I mean, you got a lot of expenses. As a driver, you have a race bike and stuff like that. But as a trainer, you have. I mean, just off the top of my head, I can think of stall rent. Pay your help. Uh, pay for stuff the horse needs as far as like liniment, stuff like that, like just leg work, stuff like that. Vet work, a harness, all that stuff. Like it's never ending. I mean, there's so much to say training a racehorse. I don't think people quite understand really. But I mean, yeah, you got a blacksmith. You got to get them shod once, every once, once a month and stuff. And it's a never ending thing. Like once you finally feel like you got caught up, and then it's like a new month and you just start all over again. So it's yeah, I mean it's a lot of expenses you got to pay, to feed them and stuff like that. So it's always an ongoing thing.
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm sure you also have transportation costs and stuff like
Yeah, oh
that to get
yeah. I mean, you got
to
Lasix
get the
at the track.
horses
You
to the
gotta,
track.
yeah, you gotta pay your help to go to the track and race. You gotta, yeah, you gotta pay for your fuel down, down the highway and stuff like that, and everything. And it obviously helps if you can race more than one a night or whatever for shipping and stuff. But it's a never ending thing. And like I said, it was like, oh, you got four horses, that's whatever, and then now you're dealing with say like 18, and it's like times 18 or whatever. It gets a little tough. So
Absolutely. So, just a hypothetical situation here. How would you recommend a new owner get into the sport? So you have a friend or an owner come to you, or a potential owner, I should say, come to you and say, "Hey, Brady, I really want to get into this. It's really exciting and fun. How should I get started?"
um kind of like like I didn't have, I kind of like that was me like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Like that was me, just kind of wanting to know more information about it. And really like you just gotta like go to the races or whatever, like, and just learn as much as you can info wise. Even if you just want to be an owner, you still need to know like what you're getting a bill for every month. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to say open up their mail and have a bill for $3,000 and just give somebody $3,000. They got to know. They need to understand. They need to understand what's going on and everything. So I would say like biggest thing is like just if if you could just sit down and talk with somebody, like if you're already like to that point, like like say somebody that trains a racehorse or whatever, like you just gotta like that's what we did. We like went to that guy's farm and just sat down with him for like an hour and was like, basically give us the lowdown on what's gonna happen and whatever. Um, it's totally different driving. Like if you wanted to say be a driver, it's totally different than say training, obviously, and stuff. And driving, the only way you can like get into driving is you got to be out on the racetrack because there's a million things that can happen and stuff. So, whatever.
So, and to further that question about a new owner, what type of horses would you maybe encourage them to get? As far as do you start them out with the babies, the yearlings, or do you want them to get to a claimer? Again, if it's a first-time owner or something like that, you've explained the billing process, all that kind of stuff. What would you
Yeah.
recommend? What kind of horse would you tell them to get?
I personally would recommend a racehorse, just because like a new owner, like they're wanting to get into that game. They're wanting to get into the game right now. And say you buy a yearling or a 2-year-old or whatever, like number one, they're not guaranteed to race. They're, whether they make it or not, that's, 6, 8 months down the road. So where like if I had a guy come up to me right now and said, I want a horse, I'd be like, okay, well, let's either claim one or let's look for one for sale because I can throw it in the box next week and race it. And whether that horse wins or loses, that owner is going to be happy that he got to go to the track and watch his horse race, So I would say for first time owners, like you're going to want to get into a racehorse or something that's like about to start racing rather than a baby. It's not guaranteed. And, you got to train it down, through the winter or whatever.
Okay, I like to pick trainers' brains on that and stuff because I've kind of heard both options of, as far as if it's a new owner getting a claimer, just because again you're going to race maybe a week later and you kind of get that instant thrill, so to speak. And I've also heard people say maybe yearlings is a good route to go just because they have their whole careers ahead of them. And
yeah, I mean, there's tons of baby trainers, that are like that would be like, yeah, I'm either not getting a racehorse, so if you want one, buy into this baby, or they have different, opinions or views, and they're like, you should get a baby because number one, it could be a home run, or or you don't, there's just so much things. But as far as me, I'm gonna say get a racehorse, but that's what I like the racehorse, the claiming game, so.
Absolutely. So, again, to kind of further things too, let's just say I bought a claimer, I'm an owner, and I want to send my horse to you to be taken care of and trained by Galliers Racing. What is that process like for both parties?
Rock on. We always have room for new owners and stuff. Like I can always piece horses out. Like I could take 4 owners and they all take a quarter, and then we got a horse or whatever. So I mean, yeah, like that's kind of why I started my social media pages, is like to get more people involved. Like, yeah, obviously to get people involved in the sport is great, but I want to get people involved, like say obviously with me, whether they want half a horse, a whole horse, a quarter of a horse, whatever they want. Like we always have, we'll always have an option. They can buy into something, and we can hopefully get them to the races and everything. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So we've talked a lot about your training and stuff, and I wanted to ask you, are there times that you wish you drove more and trained less, or vice versa, trained more and drove less? Where does that balance kind of sit at with you?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously wish I could drive more. That's something I like truly enjoy doing, is being out on the racetrack. Like, winning a race as a trainer or owner is fun, but winning a race when when you're driving it, whether it's yours or somebody else's horse, is the best feeling, to me at least. But I'm like happy where I'm at as well. Like I I don't. I mean, I'm not the hardest worker by no means, but I love going into the barn in the morning. Like there's not like a day that goes by that I'm like, mad I didn't, or mad I went to the barn or something. Like I enjoy going in. I like the animals. I like the horses and stuff. So like I enjoy going in and messing around with them and stuff. And to me, now that like I'm in it with like say my family and stuff, like there's no better feeling than say winning with one of your own that like say your parents own or own a piece of. Like that just makes me happy, like deep down inside, like because they had my back, so like I like to say reward them as well. So like I love say winning with one of my own horses. But yeah, like I wish I drove more, but it's tough right now. Like at Miami Valley, you got the whole Hoosier Park driver colony there.
Yeah.
Plus, all the guys here in Ohio, and you got new people coming in and stuff. So like right now, yeah, I wish I drove more, but I just kind of look forward to driving my own right now because I know that's definitely the drives I'm going to get right now and stuff. So, I mean, it's whatever. You just got to take what you can get, and right now that's my own horses and I'm going to do the best I can with them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for you so far, what has been your best season and why?
Ooh, I don't really know what's been my best season, like numbers wise. I'm a numbers guy, but I'm not a huge number guy. Like I could have say like 2 years ago, my numbers could look worse than they did say last year, but I might have had a better year that year because of maybe a certain race I won or whatever. But I mean, with me, I just like basically, I don't have like the Grand Circuit horses or even the babies on the sire stakes. So like to win a series or something is kind of big for my stable or whatever. So, I mean, I haven't really had like a huge year like that top like the year before or whatever. I try to just kind of stay consistent and just do the best I can whenever. But I would say probably like 2 years ago was my best year. I mean, as far as if you want to get like into the numbers and stuff, I mean, I think I made like over, like I think like almost 400,000 in training and stuff like that, which at like 10, 12 horses at the time, it's it's a decent accomplishment and stuff like that. But I don't really get into that much. Like I try to go win every race, and if I have a good year, great. If I have a good week, great. And if I have a bad week, I try to get them next week. It
Yeah.
just I used to be real hard on myself. Like if I knew a horse should have been better or whatever, like I just come home and beat myself up about it. And
Right.
without being able to talk to a horse, I kind of like realized, hey, you're just gonna come in tomorrow and you're gonna say pull blood on a horse or do what you can to help improve that horse, and you're just gonna shake it off and try to get them next week. Really, I mean, that's kind of what I've learned, and it's kept my mind right. Really.
Absolutely. So we've talked a lot about your driving and training. I wanted to give something to the people where they can learn a little more about you personally. So, you're racing 12 months of the year, you're driving and training, a lot of miles on the road. So I wanted to ask you, what is your drive to the racetrack like as far as music wise? Do you like to really kind of pump yourself up and keep a moving vibe, or do you like to chill out? What is the drive to the track with Brady Galliers like?
Well, it depends on the mood. Like, it depends on the morning you had, or like if you leave the gym, like if I'm tired, I'm just like, just kind of out there in space or whatever. But for the most part, like, because I just drive 5 minutes to Scioto, so like that's nothing. But my hour and 10, 20 minute drive to the other two tracks, it's probably like the first half an hour on the phone, honestly, like just calling, say, owners or whoever's calling me and just kind of, messing around with them or whatever. It kind of, takes half the trip away. And, and I don't necessarily, I don't mind my drive there. It's almost the drive home is like, okay, let's get home or whatever. But as far as the drive there, like I just try to like I'll just connect my Bluetooth and just I'll call my owners and update them, or like I'll call somebody and just talk to them. And then the last half hour, yeah, I jam out. I mean, I love music, so yeah.
What do you listen to, man? I gotta hear this.
I listen to about everything really. Like I can go with anything, but I'm like a hip hop guy. I mean, if you want to get technical, I like rap.
So are you and Tyler Smith sharing playlists then, it sounds like?
No, Tyler Smith doesn't know what music is. He listens to some weird stuff.
That's what Sean Barker said. Sean said
Yeah, he
I'm one of the country guy, and he said Tyler will be coming in playing Usher and Nelly and 50 Cent.
and that's fine, but like that was like 2000s. We live in 2020 now, so I listen to that music. But Barker, he listens to country, which is good music. I like country, and Barker listens to country music, and that's good. But Tyler, he's weird. Tyler's weird.
Oh God, yeah, we had to give Tyler a hard time. I think he is watching probably, so
Oh,
he'll
I've
probably
seen my phone. My notifications are blowing up, and I've seen Tyler Smith the whole night. So
yeah,
I can only imagine what he's been saying.
him and Josh. So we'll get to some of those here. We're getting near the
Yeah.
end here, but we talked a little bit earlier. Again, with driving and training, you're doing this 365 days a year for the most part. But when you do get that rare night off from driving or all your work is done at the barn, what do you like to do?
I basically just like will come home and just like chill. Really, I mean, it's like once you get home, it's like a big check mark. Like you ended your day, whether it was good or bad, and you just kind of hold on. My phone fell. Okay. You just like it's relieving. I like to come home, grab a shower, and I love college basketball. So like right now is a good time for me because I can just turn on the TV and watch a college basketball game and be satisfied and whatever. So but lately, like the past few months, I've really been like trying to work on like myself. So like I'm big on like going to the gym and eating healthy and stuff lately, and I feel tons better, and that's what's on my mind now too, besides horses. So like it's like go get a good dinner rather than say drive through Wendy's or something like that, or drive through McDonald's or whatever. Like I want to go sit down and eat a nice salad and then come home or whatever. But hey, everybody's different, but that's where I'm at right now.
Well, good, man.
So yeah.
That's good. Trying to improve yourself here in the new
Yeah.
year. So that's awesome. A question for you. I want to talk about maybe some ideas you have to enhance the sport. So my first question is, if you have a friend of yours that is a friend of yours outside of harness racing, but you're trying to encourage them to come out to the track one night, watch the races and stuff like that, how do you really pitch them on coming out? What is your hook to them to be like, hey, you got to come out? Harness racing is awesome because take it away.
Well, that's why I'm laughing, because like I won't ever invite somebody to the track unless I know I have a good lineup that night. So like if I have like a bunch of 8 holes or something, like I'm like, yeah, you don't want to come tonight. It's either supposed to be raining or whatever. I'll like make up an excuse or whatever. But like if I know like I have a couple horses in good spots or whatever, then I'm like, heck yeah, come. And I always say like, if I win or whatever, come to the winner circle because they like that or whatever. But as far as like right now, it's tough because of Corona and everything. So you can have a good time at the track, but like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like before that and stuff, you could go to Scioto and have a great time, or you could go to Miami Valley and it's packed and have a great time. So it's kind of tough right now, but as far as like say when things are normal and everything, yeah, I mean it's like come to the track, we'll reserve you a table and drink all night, go to the casino, hang out, watch horses, bet, whatever you want to do. But and like get a group of people to come, and that's like one of my favorite things about Scioto is you can like, you can be scoring down and like all those people are just sitting on the picnic tables and half of them. So like you can pull up there and you can say what's up and stuff and everything. So like that's cool. And that's like what we need more, as far as like the sport and stuff. And I think that's one like positive side of Scioto is, you're able to do that or whatever. But as far as like bringing people to the races, it's like, you got to get them to come one time for them to understand it. But then that one time they come, it obviously can't be a bad time or they're not going to come back. So like you want to get it, say on a weekend when there's, a lot of people there or stuff like that. But like I try to like, plan, say a good night that they could come and have fun or whatever.
Absolutely. So for you, you're really good with social media, and I know when you were first, you moved down to Lebanon. Your social media game was just so far ahead of everyone else, it seemed like. So for you, again, being a younger driver and trainer owner in this business, what ideas do you have to try to modernize harness racing to where, we're taking it to the next level for people that are our age? I'm 24. I think you're 25 or 6 maybe, right?
25. Yeah, 25.
And so how can we get, harness racing to be, I guess, more hip, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, I try to do the whole social media thing. Like I'm on my phone all day long. So I like that. That is something like I can do, I guess, is run a social media. I don't necessarily run my social media pages though much like, like a girl at the barn will, or like stuff like that, because number one, I'm too busy, say, to worry about like we post like who's in to go every day, like or whatever, like
Yeah.
that stuff like they can do, or it's their horses, they do it, they have the info, the login and stuff like that. But as far as getting people, you know like to just up this business in general and like social media wise, I mean, you just got to get either your name out there or harness racing out there, whether, however you do it, whether you choose the social media, whether you make a website, or whether advertise at the track or whatever. But some, just you just gotta keep, I think, like say pushing the envelope or whatever, because if nothing's done, I mean, it's just gonna go to waste or whatever. And I think social media is the best way to get things out there, because again, it's now 2021. Everybody's got a Facebook, everybody's got social media, and so it's just like it's an easy, and it's free. I mean, it's free to make a Facebook account. So why not? Why not do something that would help your business or your job or something you love? That just, I think, to me, is common sense. So like, throughout the years, the more people I've seen, like, say, make a stable page, or like, T-Tric's a perfect example, and they were the first ones. Like that, I mean, that was the greatest idea ever. I mean, look at them now. I mean, they're launched
Oh yeah.
and stuff like that. So like, I just feel like that's the way it's gonna be, because let's be honest, again, it's 2021. Everybody's on their phones and everybody's on social media. So there's no better place to be than social media for your business, because everybody's going to see it.
Absolutely, I agree. That's one place harness racing can definitely improve. And again, we talked about some of the people that are successfully doing it now, and I just want more stables, more tracks to be involved in it for sure. So
Yeah.
here's a fun question I like asking is, why should harness racing fans root for you as a driver or trainer and make you one of their favorites? So what do you feel like about yourself that the fans really like, or what do you try to do to get fans, I guess?
That's a tough question, because I don't necessarily like, I don't really know, but I mean, I've just always just tried, just tried welcoming anybody in if they're, say, interested in me. I've had a bunch of people like message me on Facebook about like some of my horses, or like, good luck tonight and stuff. And I appreciate that. Like, that's, the best, that's the best feeling, when some random person that you don't even know is like, hey, good luck tonight or whatever. So I try to, like, the fans I do have, like, I try to take care of them. I'll give them like a hoodie or like a hat or whatever and stuff like that. But why should people root for me? I really don't know. I mean, I would like to say maybe because they like our stable or something. I don't know. Uh, I can't really elaborate on that, because I guess I'm not really sure, but I mean, the more the merrier. So hopefully everybody roots for me. I don't like bad blood with anybody, and I obviously, you always have bad blood, but I try to get along with everybody.
Absolutely. So that's a tough question for some of you guys, just because you have to kind of brag on yourself almost a little
Yeah,
bit,
and I
or
don't like doing
pat
that. Like,
yourself on the back. I know that's not your
yeah,
style. So
yeah, like like I said kind of earlier, like, the results speak for themselves or whatever. So like, if you can win races, great. That's pretty much my thing. Like, as long as my owners are happy or whatever, then we're good to go.
absolutely. So my last question for you before we open it up to the fan questions, which at this point,
I don't
we're,
know if we're not opening them up. Like, a
we
couple serious questions, and that's it. I'm like, I'm not into all that other stuff.
we'll sift through the serious
Yeah,
ones and we'll try to get to
yeah.
those. But for you, what advice do you have for someone like me that's newer to the sport and wanting to own, train, and drive in the future?
You're right where you need to be. I mean, honestly, you're doing what you should be, is, say, like, first things first, getting your name out there, which that's exactly what you're doing. And that's how you got to go from there. I mean, now that you're getting your name out there, then you're going to have to pick, like, say, who you want to train your horse, or if that's what you're wanting to do, an owner or whatever, and you just kind of got to go from there. But biggest thing is, like I said, is you just got to get your name out there and show people you're available, whether that's what you're doing there, whether it's, whatever you're doing. You just got to get your name out there and show you're available and stuff like that. So I think what you're doing is phenomenal. You don't have a lot of young people like this doing that. As far as interviews and stuff like this, you have like USTA and Harness Racing Fan Zone and like HRU and stuff like that. But you're like your own little personal business, which is great, and it's good for the sport. And I think you should keep doing these, and then maybe even venture out into like give like Timmy Tetrick a call sometime or something like that. And get your name out there. Say, take a step out of Ohio or whatever. And but yeah, you're doing what you need to do. And I think if you want to, say, own, train, or drive, you need to get you need to find out, who your trainer is, what you want to do that way, and go from there, which obviously you want to be as close to your horses as you can. So what do you go to Wapak Fairgrounds? Is
Yeah,
that?
Yep.
All Glaze County or whatever. Yeah.
Fairgrounds here. So right now,
Yeah.
helping
So who trains there?
Helping a trainer, Tim Ignarski. That's there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
With
My
horses.
man, Tyler Rush. That's his main account. Yeah, my man Tyler
right.
Rush. Yeah.
Tyler's a future guest on the show here, so we'll have him sometime, hopefully in the coming weeks. But yeah, Brady, I appreciate the advice here. So I'm gonna try to sift through some questions here for you quick, and then I'll let you know. So
yeah, let's look at them and.
That Von Wagner guy is really giving you a hard time, man.
Yeah, we're not gonna. Tyler Smith, Mitch Cushing, Josh Sutton, all them. We don't have to answer any of them.
They're not allowed. So
I'm actually thinking about after this interview kicking Mitch out of my house. To be honest with you. So like that's up in the air. So.
Oh God, yeah. Let me see here. There's a bunch of stuff on here. We've had a lot of viewers, so we consistently had about 50 to 60 viewers throughout the whole show. That's pretty good. So
yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Let's see.
Man, there's a lot of comments, huh?
There is, man. There is. So, Tim Ignarski actually asked, "How was the Lost for Words
Josh.
going?"
Yeah, he's doing good. We actually went like a little bit of a mile today. Like we haven't put watches on anything really, but he's doing everything right. We gelded him. I gelded everything right away, and yeah, he's good. He's just doing his job so far. Yeah, he's not big, but he's like medium sized, good looking, built good and stuff.
Absolutely. So that's good. We had an eye on him at the sale. He looked like a very nice colt. So I'm glad he's doing well for you guys right now.
I can't even look at these comments. I'm just gonna swipe right again, and you just ask whatever you want.
Josh is giving you a hard time. I know at this point who to skip over. So we'll see. One of the questions that did come in from Ron Van Wagner was actually a pretty good one, one of his more serious ones. So it says, if you're unable to drive a horse from your stable and you had to choose any driver in Ohio to drive it for you, who would you pick?
Ooh,
that's
not him.
That's a
No, I'm just kidding. I mean, really, I get along with everybody. It's not like I'm like so and so's not driving for me. I mean. It just depends. Like if it's a claimer and say so and so's been driving the horse, I'm gonna put them on it because I can't be there or whatever. But I try to drive my own. Like there's only like gonna be like one start that they don't drive them. So really, whoever's available. But I mean, my go-tos are probably like Paige, Noble, or Sutton, or Tyler, or something like that.
Absolutely. So. Oh, geez. We're talking about Call of Duty. We got Call of Duty players.
I don't play Call of Duty, so that's irrelevant.
Josh Sutton all over the place. Tyler Smith asking who put you on the map. Jeez, we got a bad one.
These guys.
Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, man. Dude, this is definitely the most comments and questions we've ever had.
It's unreal. It's unreal, the stuff that these boys like. It's just unreal.
Goodness gracious.
Todd Luther, he needs to go to bed.
Yeah, he was asking about you driving a horse for him, it sounds like, but
yeah, but that's a sore subject, and that's not a sore subject for me. That's a sore subject for Bo Brown that's been commenting. So
there we go. We might have to have him on the show. We'll ask him about it. We'll put him on the hot seat.
Yeah, for sure.
We got through the questions. There was about 1,000 questions. I think 2 of them we could actually ask. So okay, so here we had a decent one come in from Carl Conti Jr. or Cont Jr. I apologize if I said your name
wrong.
No,
yeah, that's my man right there. He's a good dude. What'd he say?
He asked, do you envision yourself expanding outside of Ohio?
Good question. I always said what?
Todd. Yeah,
I always told myself I would like to maybe step outside of Ohio a little bit, but anymore Ohio is just such a great program. Like you can easily make a living here, but yeah, I've thought about it. I mean, it would kind of be nice to change it up a little bit or whatever, but that's not something I'm really focused on right now. Like if it would happen, it would happen, or whatever. But I'm happy in Ohio, right here in Grove City. So
Absolutely. So, Brady, before you go, I got one last question. We're done with the open segment here now. So, I wanted to talk about the future a little bit with you. Do you have goals for yourself in 2021? And then, what long term goals do you have for yourself before you hang it up, so to speak, in harness racing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like I mean, I have goals, but not like just kind of like some personal goals, like you know, like what I want to achieve, say in this business, or like with my horses and stuff. I mean, I would, one of the main goals is probably like getting more drives or whatever. I'd like this year. I'd like to try to put my name out there a little bit more as far as a driver, like the races I'm not in, maybe being one of those options or whatever. But I haven't really set many goals for like this year or whatever. Lifetime goals, yeah, I mean, everybody's dreams to say have a Grand Circuit horse or whatever, and that would be, I would like probably one goal for this year is say one of my babies to make it, like the, say like a legit sire stake horse. As far as lifetime goals, maybe have a Grand Circuit horse or drive, be able to drive one or something. But I haven't really. I just kind of like I used to be into all that, and lately I've just kind of just been going with the flow. Like whatever happens, it's going to happen, and I'm going to make the best of it, or as much as I can.
Absolutely, man. So, Brady, I really appreciate being on the show. I apologize. I kept you probably a little longer than we were
Yeah,
originally
it's past my
expecting.
bedtime.
We had, we had, that's for sure. You'll be up and at it again early tomorrow,
Yeah.
I'm sure. So, but I do appreciate you sticking around. And one last thing I want to tell you too is when we were down at Delaware for the Jug this year, I was on the OHHA broadcast and came to the backside and hung out with you guys and really appreciated that. And a lot of people were giving you a hard time about your duck boots in our picture. And I just want to
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
I got duck boots for Christmas, and I wear them proudly for you, Brady.
Yeah,
So
you got to.
don't
They
don't
don't
let
know. They don't know fashion. They like go to the racetrack and go home. They don't go out. So they don't understand like what's in and what's out. So I don't even let it bother me anymore. You know what I'm
there you
saying?
go.
Like that. Yeah.
There you
So,
go, man. I wear
but
the
hey,
duck
thanks,
boots
man.
proudly.
Thanks for having me, and good luck. Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate it very much, Brady. So thanks for being our fourth guest here, and thanks for all you've done for Scott Trot, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No problem, man.
Awesome.
Take care.
Hey, thanks, Brady. Take care, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again hopefully next week with another new guest on the Paddock Party. Take care, everybody.